Every time money touches your hands, the universe pauses. A divine transaction begins, not just in your wallet, not in your bank account, but in the invisible vault of your vibration. You are not merely receiving currency, you are receiving confirmation, evidence, proof that the spiritual law of circulation is alive in your life. Yet most people miss it. They take the money, they thank the boss, they pocket the bill, but they miss the moment, the sacred instant when the gates of divine supply swing open, when heaven makes a deposit into your human story. And instead of reverence, they meet it with resistance. They feel guilty for receiving, ashamed to want more, afraid it won't come again. That fear is not neutral. It speaks louder than words. And it says, I am not ready to be blessed. It says, I expect lack more than I expect abundance. And so the universe obeys. But here is the spiritual truth. What you fail to acknowledge, you reject. What you bless, you multiply. This is the law of acknowledgement. It is written in invisible law and etched into the soul. Whatever you recognize as good, grows. Whatever you welcome with gratitude, anchors itself deeper into your reality. You see, the moment money enters your field, it asks you a question. It whispers, am I safe here? It asks, will you honor me or fear me? It wonders, will you spend me in faith or cling to me in lack? And your reaction is your answer. If you receive with anxiety, you teach your subconscious that money is a threat. If you receive with guilt, you create a conflict between prosperity and worthiness. If you receive with silence, you leave the blessing unsealed. But if you receive with reverence, everything changes. If you pause, if you breathe, if you say even in your heart, thank you, God, I am open to more, you shift the frequency of your entire life. So many think abundance begins with hard work, but it begins here, with awareness, with the moment you recognize money not as a number, but as a message, a mirror of your beliefs, a signal of your vibration. Let us visualize this moment together. Close your eyes. Imagine a golden light flowing from above into your open palm. You see a crisp note or a digital transaction glowing on your screen. Time slows. Everything else fades. This moment is holy. You receive it with joy. You breathe in with ease. You speak, even if silently. This is divine supply, and I am worthy of it. More is on the way. Let that become your new spiritual reflex. Let every act of receiving become a declaration of trust. Let it say, I no longer reject what I prayed for. Let it affirm, money is not my master. It is my messenger. Because every time money enters your life, it echoes what you believe about yourself. Do you believe you are worthy of wealth? Do you believe the universe is safe and giving? Or do you still carry the programming that says receiving is selfish, or that wanting more is unspiritual? These questions are not to shame you. They are to awaken you. You are standing at the gate of divine circulation. Your next moment of receiving can be your next moment of release. You can bless the money. You can say aloud, softly or boldly, thank you, God. Every dollar I receive is holy. I bless this money and send it back into the world to do good. I open my hands to more. Let this be your practice. Let this be your anchor. No more mindless deposits. No more fearful glances at the balance. No more shame in being blessed. This is your turning point. Receiving is no longer a transaction. It is a transformation. Receiving is no longer unconscious. It is a spiritual ceremony, and the next time wealth finds its way into your hands, whether a single coin or an overflow, you will not ignore it. You will honor it. You will recognize the voice of the divine, saying, this is for you. I trust you. I am not done blessing you yet. This is how you remove financial fear from its root. You stop letting money pass through your hands unacknowledged. You start receiving like the child of a wealthy, versed, with awe, with gratitude, with holy boldness. This is your moment now. Let it begin. Let your next breath be the blessing. Let your next transaction be the temple. And from this moment forward, let your life say, I never lack, because I never forget who I am. Every time money enters your life, something else quietly arrives with it. A shadow at the edge of your soul. A whisper behind the gratitude. It's the voice that says, this won't last. It's not enough. You don't deserve this. That voice is not neutral. It's not just passing through. It is signing a contract, a spiritual agreement, and what you agree to, consciously or unconsciously, becomes law in your life. Fear is not a feeling. It is a permission slip handed to lack. It is a signal to the universe that you are not ready to hold what was just given. And most people do it so subtly, they don't even notice the transaction. You open your hand to receive, but your spirit closes. You smile when the money comes in, but inside you whisper, it's already gone. That contradiction, that inner fracture, is the very energy that repels abundance. Because spiritual law does not respond to words alone, it responds to the vibration beneath them. Now hear this truth. You cannot hold two thoughts at once. This is the law of substitution. You cannot say thank you with your mouth and I'm afraid with your spirit. You must choose. Picture this. A divine gate stands before you. One side marked faith, the other marked fear. Both cannot be open. Both cannot guide your steps. Both cannot bless your future. Fear is a shadow standing at your gate. It does not have a key. It only waits for your attention. And every time you give it your inner gaze, you hand it permission to lead. But you are the gatekeeper, the chooser, the one who commands the atmosphere within. So stop, pause, ask yourself, when I receive money, what is my first thought? What is my first feeling? Do I clutch it? Do I feel guilty holding it? Do I think about what might go wrong? That first thought is not just a thought. It's a silent vote, and your life is shaped by the votes you cast in your heart more than the actions you take with your hands. You must revoke the old agreement. Cancel the inner contract with fear. You do not need fear to keep you safe. You need clarity. You need conviction. You need peace, rooted in divine trust. Let this become your new agreement. A sacred decree whispered each time you receive. I welcome money as a messenger of divine circulation. I send it forth in trust. I receive it in peace. Let those words settle like gold into your nervous system. Let them become the new rhythm of your receiving. Say them not just with your lips, but with your spirit. Feel how different it is to receive in peace than in panic. Because peace is not a passive state. It is a power move. It is a magnetic field that tells the universe, I am ready to hold more. Now visualize this. See money coming toward you, a glowing current. Instead of recoiling, you smile. You breathe deeply. You extend your hand without fear. You receive it like a sacred offering. You feel the divine orchestra swell behind that moment. And you bless it forward. In that single act, you shatter the old agreement. You no longer serve the god of scarcity. You serve the source that never runs dry. And this is your soul's new stance. Money is not your master. Fear is not your guide. Faith has taken the throne. Peace has signed the contract. You have ended your alliance with lack. And what you no longer agree with, you no longer attract. Now we go deeper. Now we prepare your inner world to receive wealth, not with fear, but with reverence. Because the next moment is not about what enters your hand. It's about what rises from your soul. Everything you touch leaves an echo. Every gesture, every thought, every transaction is more than motion. It is vibration. And the universe, silent and exact, sends back what you radiate. This is the law of radiation and attraction. You do not receive what you want. You receive what you are. And what you are is written in the energy you send. When money leaves your hand, it does not vanish. It travels on the wings of your emotion. It carries your tone, your trust, your tension. It carries your story. If fear is clinging to your grip, it travels with it. If guilt hides in your giving, it arrives attached. If joy flows from your palm, it returns multiplied. Because money is never neutral. It is imprinted by you. You are not paid in dollars. You are paid in vibration. Dollars are just the receipt. The echo of what you broadcasted first from your soul. See this now. Each time you spend, each time you receive, an invisible transaction occurs, not on the bank's ledger, but in the field of divine reciprocity. The field does not calculate amounts. It mirrors frequencies. This is why some spend and stay rich, and others save and stay poor. The outer act is the same. The inner energy is worlds apart. So ask yourself, what vibration do I attach to money when I release it? What belief rides on its back when it flows from my life? Do I see it as loss or as circulation? Do I fear it won't return or trust that it expands in flights? Now imagine this. Before you spend a single note or accept a single coin, you pause, you hold the money gently to your heart, and you whisper, you are love in motion. I send you out in joy. I receive you in peace. Say it slowly. Let each word land in your nervous system. Let it soothe the old panic. Let it rewrite the trauma of lack. You are no longer rushing. You are no longer unconscious. You are weaving sacredness into the most worldly exchange. You are commanding the field. You are instructing the law. Because when you bless money in and out of your life, you do not just affect your finances. You rewire your entire body's relationship with receiving. You calm the cortisol. You loosen the grip. You teach your subconscious, I am safe with wealth. I am worthy of flow. I do not lose when I give. I expend. This is not make-believe. This is metaphysical reality. Your body holds the memory of every fearful financial moment you've lived, but it also holds the power to transmute. And that power begins in sacred repetition. That's what begin the new ritual. When a bill arrives, don't react in dread. Touch it with reverence. Breathe over it. Say, you are love in motion. Even if your voice shakes, even if your chest tightens, say it again. When a friend pays you back, or a paycheck arrives, don't just receive with the mind, receive with the heart. Place the money to your chest. Say, I receive you in peace. Feel the difference. Let the energy flow not just through your hand, but through your nervous system, through your breath, through your sense of identity. You are not a desperate receiver anymore. You are a sacred circulator. You are no longer grasping. You are directing. You are no longer surviving. You are radiating. This shift will not be seen first in your bank account. It will be felt first in your spirit, but the outer form will follow. Because the field never forgets a pure frequency. It echoes back in perfect timing, in multiplied form, through channels you didn't know existed. Now, picture this. Money leaves your wallet like a glowing thread. It doesn't fall, it rises. It dances through the divine current. It returns, not just as more money, but as ease, opportunity, divine surprises. This is your new financial reality. And it starts not with numbers. It starts with your energy. It starts with the words you speak to the flow. It starts with your trust in the invisible dot. And now, you are not just surviving the cycle. You are designing it. With every heartbeat, with every release, with every blessing. You have become the pattern. And the pattern you send is the pattern you now receive. The sacred current has been activated. And what you send in reverence will now return in abundance. Let's go further. Now that the energy has shifted, let us walk into the next realm of transformation. Not just receiving, but anchoring the frequency of wealth deep into your spiritual core. You were never meant to have a silent relationship with money. It is not a stranger, nor is it your master. It is a divine servant, coded by spirit, to respond to the vibration of your voice. It listens when you speak. It remembers the tone you use. It mirrors the energy you place into its presence. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that words are wands. They carry life or death, expansion or lack. Every phrase you utter casts a spell on the invisible field around you. When you bless something, it multiplies. When you curse something, it withdraws. And money is no exception. Money is not cold. It is not neutral. It is living energy molded by your emotions, shaped by your beliefs, moved by your speech. When you treat it as sacred, it shows up with sacred timing. When you speak to it with reverence, it becomes your divine partner. Say this softly with me. Now, you are welcome here. Let your chest rise as you breathe it in. Feel the shift in your nervous system. A warm wave of acceptance. A release of fear. Now speak this into your palm, as if placing it upon a treasure. You belong in my hands. Notice how something inside you aligns as if your soul remembers this truth. You are not stealing from the universe when you receive. You are allowing what was always yours to return. Next, hold the money, whether a single coin or a folded bill, and whisper, you are safe with me. This statement begins to cleanse the ancestral wound, the fear of losing, the guilt of having, the shame of asking. You become a protector of divine supply, not a hoarder, not a beggar, a steward. Finally, speak this truth aloud as you let the money rest on your heart. You are guided by divine law. You are no longer controlling the outcome. You are aligning with the law that governs circulation, ease, and increase. Money listens. It learns how to behave in your presence. If you call it a problem, it trembles. If you call it a gift, it opens. If you name it cursed, it hides. But if you bless it, it obeys. Speak life into your wallet. Speak honor into your bank account. Speak kindness over your coins. Each syllable becomes a path. Each word becomes a permission. You are giving money the language to return, Create a ritual, one small act that tells the universe, I am not careless with your blessing. Before you spend, pause. Before you receive, breathe, touch the money, feel its texture. Close your eyes and speak. It can be quiet, it can be tender, it can be a simple whisper under your breath, but let it be intentional. Money is not only moved by markets and metrics, it is moved by meaning, by how you feel when you hold it, by how you talk when you touch it. The more love you send into it, the more it returns with love. The more respect you give it, the more it mirrors your value. This is not superstition. This is spiritual circuitry. Say this: I honor the supply I hold, and I invite the supply to come. I no longer speak lack. I only speak alignment. I trust that my words are building my financial temple. Let every dollar become a disciple of your intention. Let every cent become a sermon of your worth. You are the voice money remembers, not the world, not your past, not your fear, but your divine command. Speak to your money, and it will speak back, with grace, with loyalty, with multiplication. Now breathe, feel the energy shift. You have just rewritten your financial vibration, and the universe is already listening. Let us now move deeper into this transformation and discover what truly happens when you speak before you receive. The next step reveals the one declaration that opens the vault of divine return. There is a script playing in your life. It speaks every time you open your wallet. It whispers when you check your balance. It echoes when payday arrives and vanishes in a blink. You didn't write this script consciously. It was passed down, inherited, through repetition, baked into the language of your childhood, the tone of your caretakers, the rhythm of your survival. It's never enough. It always disappears. I'm just trying to make it. I don't know where it all goes. These are not casual complaints. These are spiritual contracts, signed unknowingly by a younger version of you, stamped into your subconscious, line by invisible line. But hear this now, you have the authority to tear up that contract. You are not bound to the lack you were born into. You are not chained to the agreements you never consented to. Your subconscious is a sacred scribe. It doesn't judge what you give it. It simply writes. It repeats what it receives. And it builds your outer world based on the script you internalize. So what happens when you hand it a new scroll? One of truth, of sufficiency, of divine abundance. Close your eyes, place your hand over your heart, and see this now, a golden scroll laid before you, its edges soft with light, the parchment ancient, yet untouched by fear. In your other hand, a pen not of ink, but of luminous intention. Each stroke releases old programming. Each word written becomes law in the field. Now begin to write. I am fully provided for. My supply is divine and endless. I no longer chase. I magnetize. Money honors me because I honor truth. I am not surviving. I am overflowing. Every dollar I receive is a vote for my expansion. With each line, you canceled the former script. You dissolve the phrases that built your financial fear. You speak a new agreement into being. You initiate a divine rewrite. Florence Scovel Shinn taught, the subconscious is a faithful servant, but you must give it right orders. So here is your decree. I dissolve every spoken fear and written lack. I now script wealth by divine authority. Say it with your spine tall and your soul awake. Say it until it hums in your bones. Say it until the old words no longer fit inside you. This is not just mindset work. This is metaphysical surgery. You are cutting cords to old money, myths. You are removing spiritual malware. You are updating the language of your nervous system. Journal this. What money script did I inherit? Write freely. Write raw. Name what was passed to you. What did your father believe about money? What did your mother say when the bills came? What did your culture teach you about having, about asking, about receiving? Then ask, what new truth am I ready to install? This is the rebirth. This is where you write your truth in gold. Repeat this silently. I am no longer the echo of ancestral lack. I am the voice of divine provision. I no longer repeat fear. I now write faith. This is your sacred authorship. This is your return to creative dominion. The old script has no power unless you keep reading from it. You have the pen now. You have the scroll. You have the divine right to write again. And so you shall, not with panic, not with desperation, but with boldness, with clarity, with joy. Are not just changing your money story. you are changing your money vibration. And the field, the divine economy of the unseen, is already responding. We speak the words that open the gates of wealth. Words so true that lack can no longer follow. There is a pulse behind every coin you touch, a rhythm behind every dollar you spend, a silent breath that moves through you when you give with love. Money is not a number. It is not paper. It is not locked in a vault or buried in a digital account. Money is motion. It is divine breath made visible. It inhales through giving. It exhales through receiving. When you understand this, you no longer chase money. You circulate it. You become a vessel for its sacred flow. The law of circulation is not a suggestion. It is a cosmic rhythm embedded into all things. The tides rise and fall. The seasons turn. Your own lungs prove it. Inhale, exhale, again. So it is with wealth. When you give with fear, you sever the current. When you withhold out of scarcity, you step out of the stream. But when you give with joy, with clarity, with divine intention, you return to the river. Imagine now a flowing current of liquid gold. It rushes through cities, villages, heartbeats, and prayers. It moves not from greed, but from generosity. Not from lack, but from trust. This is not a stream to own. It is a stream to join. Picture it entering your heart like a warm breath, filling your chest, moving down your arms, out through your hands. And as you give, you do not feel emptied. You feel energized, because in the divine order of things, what you give with love never leaves you. It multiplies, it expands, it loops back in forms more beautiful than you can imagine. This is not a sermon about sacrifice. This is a revelation of flow. When you pay for something, infuse it with power. Bless it, speak to it. Say, this is not money lost. This is a seed. This is gratitude in motion. This is alignment with divine wealth. Before you spend even a small coin, pause, set an intention. Feel the sacredness of the act. Say quietly, this gift returns multiplied. This action honors my abundance. This moment keeps the river flowing. And when you receive, do not shrink. Do not apologize. Do not question your worthiness. Receive fully. Receive boldly. Receive without fear. It is just as divine to receive as it is to give. This is the balance the soul must learn. Many were taught to clutch tightly, to fear running out, but that is the language of limitation. Not love. Hoarding is spiritual resistance. It blocks the breath, it clogs the current, and eventually, what doesn't move begins to decay. But when you give from alignment, from joy, from truth, you become a channel. You become the living proof of infinite source. You become part of the divine ecosystem of wealth. You are not separate from the flow. Ye are the flow. Repeat this now. I am in circulation with divine wealth. I give freely. I receive without fear. Again, slower, with reverence. I am in circulation with divine wealth. I give freely. I receive without fear. Let it enter your nervous system. Let it calm the hoarding parts of you. Let it awaken the generous, radiant truth you were born with. The universe does not measure the size of your gift. It measures the spirit behind it. Give $1 with love, and it carries the weight of 1,000. Give a smile with presence, and it shifts entire timelines. Circulation is not just about money. It is about breath, words, time, energy, attention. What you share with the field returns to you, shaped by your spirit. So begin where you are. You do not need to wait until you have more. You only need to step back into the stream. Give where your heart calls. Share without shame. Spend with sacred intention. Receive with calm certainty. You are not leaking. You are flowing. You are not losing. You are circulating. Let your life become the divine inhale and exhale of wealth. Let your giving be prayer. Let your receiving be praise. And as you circulate with clarity, as you release with trust, as you spend with soul, you will notice the gold does not run out. It runs through, and it returns. In forms so precise, so abundant, so divinely aligned, you will know without doubt you were never meant to hold it all. You were meant to let it flow. For what comes next is the moment your word becomes law. The divine current has been opened. Now, speak, and watch the field obey. There comes a point on your path where the outer numbers no longer tell the full story, where the digits in your bank account cannot reflect the richness flowing from your soul, where the job title, the client name, or the brand of the paycheck must step aside. Because true supply is never printed on paper or wired through banks. True supply flows from the unseen, from the vast, invisible storehouse of divine provision. The law of divine source declares this. All visible supply is simply the echo of an invisible decree. You do not live off of wages. You live off of faith. The visible hand may hand you a check, but it is the invisible hand that sustains you in every season. This is not poetry. This is law. The moment you anchor your trust in man, the moment you crown a job as your king, you have placed a limit on the limitless. You have mistaken the faucet for the water, and the vessel for the ocean. But there is a turning point, and you are standing in it now. You can shift from fear to faith, from counting coins to commanding divine currents. You can become a receiver of unseen wealth. There is a story I must tell you. A woman had just lost her main source of income. The bills on her table, like silent tyrants, stared back at her. But instead of panic, she paused. She walked to her wallet, held it in her trembling hands, and whispered, "You are always filled by divine law." She said it as tears rolled down. Not because she believed it fully, but because she wanted to. She spoke the words anyway, and something within her shifted. The next day, a forgotten refund check arrived. A friend repaid a debt from years ago. A freelance client reappeared with a larger offer. 3 unexpected streams opened in one day. That is not coincidence. That is the economy of God. You see, the field rearranges not when the outer shifts, but when your trust moves from the seen to the unseen, from fear to certainty, from grasping to grace. This is the invitation before you, to look at what is not yet visible and call it yours. To walk by inner knowing, not outer numbers. Right now, speak this aloud. What I see cannot limit what I receive. Again, what I see cannot limit what I receive. Say it until the veil begins to lift. Until you no longer bow to temporary appearances. Until your faith becomes the faucet. Visualize yourself standing before an invisible bank, not built of marble, but made of light. Not guarded by fear, but opened by trust. In this divine treasury, your needs are known before you speak. Your account is always full, even when your eyes say empty. You are not waiting for money. Money is waiting for your faith. Let this be your practice. Before you check your bank balance, pause, close your eyes, and affirm, "What I see is not all there is. I receive from the infinite, not the immediate." When you reach for your wallet, do not sigh. "Blessed I am in covenant with divine supply." This wallet is a portal of provision. Your source is not the company you work for, not the market you sell to, not the platform you post on. All of that is scaffolding, temporary structures for eternal flow. Your real source is the law written in your spirit, the contract between your soul and the divine architect. And that contract cannot be broken by recession, delay, or decline. So now, in this moment of holy remembrance, pray with me. Let me trust the invisible more than the visible. Let me walk in alignment with unseen abundance. Let me remember who my source truly is. Not man, not money, but the ever-present field of divine supply. And so it is. Let this trust guide your next thought. Let this knowing guard your next decision. Let this sacred shift carry you to the next revelation. Because what comes next is not based on how much you have, but on how deeply you believe. And now, we step forward into that belief where the invisible becomes inevitable. Pause for a moment. Breathe. Feel the hush. Not the silence of emptiness, but the silence before something holy arrives. This is the moment that changes everything. When money touches your hands and you no longer treat it like paper or metal but as a sacred messenger of the divine. In this stillness, your words become law. Your breath becomes the bridge between the unseen and the seen. Your attention becomes the architect of your financial future. You must speak, not casually, not habitually, but as one who knows that the universe listens. Every time you receive money, whether it's a single coin or a transfer in your account, a choice is given. You can fall into the old trance where money feels scarce, guilty, undeserved, or you can rise into divine agreement where wealth is sacred and every dollar is a seed of infinite return. The subconscious does not skip a beat. It records every emotion tied to your receiving. It listens to your tone, your breath, your belief. It is the holy recorder of your inner covenant with life. So now, we create a new covenant, a vow so sacred, it reshapes the roots of your reality. When you receive money, you say, "Every dollar I receive is divinely designed. I bless it, I welcome it, I multiply it in love." Let the words rise slowly, Do not rush them. This is not a transaction. It is a ritual. Say the first line with your hand on your heart. Breathe in through the nose. Feel your chest expand like the opening of a golden vault. Every dollar I receive is divinely designed. Say it again. This time, feel the intelligence behind the design. Money is not random. It was called to you by law, by vibration, by your permission. Now, place your other hand on the money itself. Cash, card, phone, screen, doesn't matter. It is not the form, it is the force behind it. Say the next line. I bless it, I welcome it, I multiply it in love. Let the blessing come from your soul. Let your welcome be full-bodied, no guilt, no fear, no apology. Let the multiplication happen not in hustle, but in harmony. Repeat the full phrase 3 times. Not as repetition, but as revelation. Each time you speak it, it moves deeper into your being. You are training the subconscious to link money with sacredness. You are rewriting centuries of fear in a single breath. Let your eyes close. Let your crown open. Feel a gentle warmth, as if a light is descending from above. You are not just receiving money. You are receiving the message of divine trust. And you are answering back with a declaration of reverence. When your receiving becomes holy, your financial life becomes whole. There is no begging in this space. No survival mode. Only command born from alignment. If you wish to expand the ritual, here is a variation to speak when you hold the money in your hands. Divine substance flows through this money. It expands wherever it goes. Say it as you feel gratitude rise. Not shallow gratitude, but sovereign gratitude. The kind that knows this is not the end, but the beginning of flow. Practice this receiving ritual in quiet. No distractions, no mental noise, just you, the sacred substance, and your voice. Your words are not affirmations, they are activations. They are your signature on the scroll of spiritual finance. And every time you speak them, the subconscious listens and obeys. It reshapes your nervous system. It realigns your emotional frequency. It prepares the field for more. This is not about being positive. This is about being precise. About knowing that you are the master key and your word is the command. So from this moment on, no money enters your life without being blessed. No financial gift goes unnamed. You speak. You declare. You receive in divine authority. And as we move forward, we prepare to seal the shift in your energy field. Where fear once lived, power will now take root. Where survival once echoed, certainty will now reign. The sacred declaration has been spoken. Now the field begins to respond. There is a hidden law most never learned to use. A spiritual secret embedded in the divine fabric of creation. The soul that knows how to rehearse its blessings before they appear becomes the one the universe rushes to favor. This is not about pretending. This is about commanding the unseen. Faith is expectancy, not hope, not maybe, not someday, but certainty. In advance, like the earth preparing for rain before the clouds even form. So today, we shift the script again. You are no longer one who waits for wealth. You are one who welcomes it, in advance, with joy, with movement, with readiness. Rehearsal is magnetic. It tells the divine, I am prepared, I have made room, I have cleared space, I am living in the promise, not the problem, before the deposit arrives in your account. Bless the digital space it will touch. Before the wallet fills, speak to it as a vessel of abundance. Before the doorbell rings with the unexpected check, speak aloud. I give thanks for every form of wealth now rushing toward me. Say it with your shoulders lifted. Say it while walking like you already hold a divine inheritance. Say it when doubt knocks, because doubt is only faith in reverse. Rehearsing wealth is the law of substitution in action. You replace fear with embodiment. You substitute scarcity with certainty. You no longer beg, you no longer wait. You create inner movement that the outer world must match. Imagine this. You are walking through a golden archway. Every step you take is toward incoming supply. The air around you carries the scent of overflow. Beneath your feet is the divine carpet of readiness. Visualize your phone lighting up with a new transfer. Feel the vibration of your hand reaching for it. See your eyes smiling before the screen even unlocks. You are not surprised. You rehearsed this moment. You made it familiar. Now, take a deep breath. Place your hand over your heart. And whisper this prayer of preparation. I bless the arrival before it arrives. I bless the gift before it is wrapped. I bless the currency before I hold it. For all things are already mine, in the invisible. I rehearse wealth not as a game, but as a law. Faith is my theater, expectation is my stage, and the divine never misses a cue. Now, set a reminder in your phone. Yes, right now. Set it for the morning before your usual payday. Label it, speak prosperity now. When that reminder appears, pause. Speak your declaration out loud. I give thanks for the wealth I cannot yet see. It is on its way, and I am already worthy. You are not just playing a part. You are stepping into your true role. The wealthy soul who blesses the invisible until it becomes seen. Walk through your day like your pockets already carry divine gold. Eat like your table is always full. Pray like every request has already been received. Rehearsing wealth is how you harmonize with the divine orchestra. The universe does not send abundance where there is chaos. It flows where it feels welcome. And now, you are the welcome. You are the door. You are the golden arch. You are the temple where prosperity feels at home. Prepare the room. Set the table. Speak the words. Rehearsal is not illusion. It is preparation. And as you begin to live as one who already has, the divine has no choice but to make it so. Now, let's take this deeper. You've spoken before receiving. You've walked through the golden arch. It's time to make a vow that seals this shift in your soul. Let's enter the sacred chamber of your final declaration, where the field hears you and forever obeys. There is a sacred place within you where no fear can follow. No voice of doubt may speak here. No scarcity can whisper its name. This is your inner temple, the invisible sanctuary, built not by hands, but by consciousness. It is untouched by the rise and fall of currencies, unshaken by news reports or market predictions. It is immune to opinions, immune to panic, immune to pressure. This is where your soul sits on its throne. This is where God is not distant but dwelling, and every time you receive, even if it's a single coin, a transfer, a blessing in disguise, you return to this temple to remember. You are the gatekeeper. Fear knocks, but you do not open. Doubt knocks, but you do not answer. Scarcity calls your name, but in this holy space, it cannot enter. You breathe, you sit, you place one hand on your heart and the other on your lap, and you say aloud, as a sovereign of your own supply, in my inner temple, all is provided, all is calm. Not because you see it yet, but because the divine blueprint is already drawn. The law of substitution lives here. Every fearful thought is replaced before it can root. Every anxious forecast is met with sacred knowing. Every what if is transformed into even if they don't understand your journey. Even if the world spins faster, even if supply delays, you remain still, centered, and divinely held. This is your inner wealth altar, the space where substance gathers before it appears, the place where fear dissolves like mist under morning light. You are not waiting for peace to arrive with money. You are establishing peace, so money knows where to land. Visualize it, a circular room of light within you, soft gold walls breathing around you, the scent of stillness, a floor made of gratitude, a ceiling made of praise. Here, divine timing is not delayed. Here, supply has no opposition. Here, you are never empty. After you receive, take 2 minutes in this inner sanctuary. No phone, no thinking, no rushing, just presence. Let every dollar be blessed here. Let every blessing echo in this temple. Sit in silence, not to ask, but to acknowledge. The field has responded. The law has moved. The answer has arrived. And, as a spiritual practice, ask yourself in your journal, what does my inner temple feel like when I receive money? Describe it, anchor it, return to it, because it's not the number that makes you rich, it's the stillness behind the number. It's the consciousness you hold as it flows in, and it is the energy you protect once it arrives. In this temple, wealth is not chased, it is welcomed. It is worshipped as divine substance. It is multiplied by peace, not panic. You are no longer someone who receives in fear. You are someone who receives in reverence. And the world may rush, the world may shift, but inside, the gates are guarded, the lamp is lit, and all is well. There comes a moment on every spiritual journey where the air grows quiet, the prayers have been spoken, the affirmations have been declared, the heart has surrendered, and yet nothing moves, no call comes, door swings open, no money lands. This is the test of trust. This is where many turn back, but not you, because you are learning to walk by divine law, not by visible evidence. You are learning that just because the branch doesn't bloom instantly doesn't mean the seed didn't take root. Just because your eyes don't see it now doesn't mean heaven has not already dispatched the answer. This is where you remember the law of divine timing, where you hold your vibration steady even when the outer world is silent, where you resist the urge to panic, to force, to beg, because delay is not denial. It is divine arrangement. It is orchestration in motion. It is alignment, not abandonment. The divine check is never late. It arrives when your faith can cash it, when your self-worth can hold it, when your consciousness can keep it. You may feel tension here. You may feel the old story rising. I did something wrong. I must not be worthy. It's working for others, not for me. But stop, breathe, step back into your soul's compass. Supply is not outside of you. It's not hiding. It's not punishing. As Florence Scovel Shinn said, man's supply is always where he is awaiting recognition. That means your provision is not far away. It's waiting for you to see it, to believe it, to speak as if it is already here. This is not just a waiting period. This is a becoming period, a sacred stretch of time where your inner world is being shaped to receive what you've asked for without sabotage. So when fear comes in and says, "Where is it?" you answer with faith. You say, "All that is mine by divine right is now on its way. I do not chase, I receive." Let that be your atmosphere. Say it aloud when you wake, when the doubt creeps in, when the inbox is quiet, when the account balance whispers fear. All that is mine by divine right is now on its way. I do not chase, I receive. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. This is not stagnation. This is synchronization. Think of the divine orchestra tuning in silence before the music begins. Think of the stillness before the storm of blessing rains down. Think of the archer who pulls the arrow back not to delay the flight, but to multiply its power. The universe is not slow. It is precise. It is wise. It is faithful. You must become the one who does not flinch at delay, who does not change their tone when the timeline stretches, because your trust is not in time. Your trust is in truth. The law of divine timing holds you like a sacred thread. It weaves what you need behind the veil of visibility, and when it appears, it will not be late. It will be perfect. It will be undeniable. It will make sense of the silence. Until then, stay in preparation, not panic. Keep your words aligned. Keep your temple clean. Keep your hands open. This is when you're becoming the version of you who can hold the weight of what you've called in. Journal it. Write this question on a blank page. What version of me is ready to receive without fear? Let the answer pour through your pen. Let it reveal the next soul step. Trust is not passive. It is an active energy. A deep calm that stirs beneath the surface. An inner agreement with the unseen. Say this with me one more time. All that is mine by divine right is now on its way. I do not chase, I receive. Let that be your rhythm. Let that be your rest. Let that be your revelation. And now, as you walk forward in this rhythm of trust, prepare yourself, because the next shift is not just spiritual, it is physical, it is financial, and it's already finding you. You have walked through the valley where fear once whispered lack into your spirit. You have stood at the silent gate of destiny, learning not to push, but to open. You have unlearned the world's noise and tuned your soul to the divine orchestra. Now you arrive here, at the sacred end that is also a beginning. The place where the blessing is not begged for but spoken with authority. You are no longer reacting. You are no longer waiting to be chosen. You are no longer treating money as your master. Because now, you are the one who blesses. You are the one who commands. With love, you are the one who calls money, not from desperation, but from dominion. Feel that. Not the small self who once feared the envelope, not the past version who apologized for wanting more. You are the blessed one, the chosen steward, the temple, where wealth meets wisdom. Say this with your full soul. I am a receiver of divine wealth. I am a keeper of sacred flow. I bless money, and money blesses me. This is not a mantra. This is a law. The law of recognition. The law of return. The law of the blessing. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote, "Man's supply is always where he is awaiting recognition." And now, you see it. Supply doesn't chase you. It responds to you. It reflects your clarity. It echoes your belief. It multiplies your blessing. So from this moment on, you don't ask if you're worthy. You declare that you are ready. You don't wonder if it's coming. You bless its arrival in advance. Money does not define your worth. It responds to your word. It follows your frequency. It mirrors your internal stance. You have shifted from the energy of want to the vibration of command, from holding your breath to releasing your voice, from fear of lack to the blessing of enough. Say it again, slow and steady, like you mean every syllable. I am a receiver of divine wealth. I am a keeper of sacred flow. I bless money, and money blesses me. Now, I give you this spiritual challenge. For the next 7 days, every time money enters your space, whether it's a coin, a gift, a payment, or a number on a screen, pause, place your hand over your heart, smile with sacred intention, and say out loud, I bless this money, and it returns, multiplied, flowing freely through divine channels. Watch what happens. Watch how your relationship with supply changes. Watch how money no longer intimidates you, but recognizes you, because you are no longer asking for permission. You are speaking as one with spiritual jurisdiction. Close your eyes now, breathe gently, feel the space around you shift. You are surrounded by a glowing golden circle. It pulses with light every time you bless. It expands with every truth you speak. It is the field of divine supply responding to your inner decree. You are not hoping for a miracle. You are walking in the middle of one. You are not chasing money. You are activating its obedience through blessing. You are not waiting for provision. You are commanding it with love. Once more, let the circle glow brighter. Let your voice rise into alignment. I am a receiver of divine wealth. I am a keeper of sacred flow. I bless money, and money blesses me. Let that be your truth. Let that be your rhythm. Let that be the sound money hears every time it comes near. Now you know, money follows the one who blesses. And that one is you.